The US has a tropical rainforest, a mountain that feeds 3 oceans, and a town that was its own country for 14 years. Sounds insane? That's just the start. These are 25 US geography facts you won't believe are true, right here on Landlocked. Let's dive in. Fact 25. Florida is full of sinkholes, including one called the Green Banana. Florida is sunny, sandy, and full of holes. Much of the state is built on limestone, which dissolves easily in water, creating sinkholes that can open suddenly. Central Florida is nicknamed Sinkhole Alley, and one of the largest sinkholes lies offshore near Sarasota, called the Green Banana Hole, 155 feet deep under the Gulf of America. Fact 24. You can stand in 4 states at once. At the Four Corners Monument, you can stand in Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah simultaneously. It's the only point in the US where 4 state borders meet at right angles. It's a must-visit selfie spot and a cartographer's headache. Fact 23. The Rocky Mountains are still growing. The Appalachians may be ancient and eroded, but the Rocky Mountains are still geologically active. Formed just 65 million years ago, they're relatively young and still rising, pushed up by tectonic forces. That's why they're taller and craggier than their eastern cousins, and why they'll keep changing shape over time. Fact 22. Kentucky is split between 2 time zones. If you live in Kentucky, you might need 2 watches. The state is almost evenly divided between the Eastern and Central time zones, with major cities like Bowling Green in the west using Central Standard Time, and Lexington in the east using Eastern Standard Time. You can literally cross a county line and jump an hour forward or back. Fact 21. The US has the largest island in the largest lake in the largest island in the largest lake in the world. Ready for a geographic tongue twister? In Lake Superior, the largest lake by surface area, lies Isle Royale, the largest island in a lake. On that island is Lake Siskiwit, which contains Ryan Island, the largest island in a lake on an island in a lake. Yes, this is real. It's a Russian nesting doll of geography. Fact 20. Nevada has over 600 ghost towns. During the gold rush and railroad booms, Nevada exploded with new towns. But as quickly as they rose, they vanished, leaving behind over 600 ghost towns. The most famous is Rhyolite, near Death Valley, where empty saloons, train stations, and crumbling buildings sit under the desert sun. In fact, Nevada has more ghost towns than living ones. Fact 19. Alaska has over 3 million lakes. That title goes to Alaska, the true lake king of the US. With more than 3 million lakes, Alaska dwarfs every other state. Most are unnamed and unreachable, formed by ancient glaciers, permafrost melt, and rainfall. Only about 3,200 of them have official names, leaving millions more untouched and unseen. Fact 18. Minnesota doesn't actually have 10,000 lakes. Minnesota's nickname is the Land of 10,000 Lakes. But the real number? It's closer to 11,800. Some sources say over 14,000, depending on how you define a lake. The nickname stuck because it sounded good, but the reality is, Minnesota is overflowing with lakes. Fact 17. The US has land in the UTC-12 time zone. Some US territory lies so far out west, it's actually in yesterday. Howland and Baker Islands, tiny uninhabited US outposts in the Pacific, fall under UTC-12, the rarest time zone on Earth. That means, technically, they're the last places on Earth to see a new day. Though uninhabited today, they're recognized US territories and are mainly used for wildlife preservation. Fact 16. One US capital is inaccessible by road. Most capitals are reachable by highways, but not Juneau, Alaska. Surrounded by rugged mountains and icy waters, Juneau is the only state capital that you can't drive into. To visit, you must fly or sail. Fact 15. The US-Canada border is the longest undefended in the world. With a few exceptions, the 5,525-mile border between the US and Canada is almost completely undefended. No walls, no massive security zones, just snow, forests, and lakes. Why? Because of long-standing peaceful relations and geography doing the heavy lifting. the only barrier in many areas? A tiny cleared line through the woods, known as the slash. It's maintained just so you know you're crossing. Fact 14. Lake Superior holds 10% of Earth's freshwater. The Great Lakes are massive, but one of them, Lake Superior, is on another level. It holds 10% of all the world's surface freshwater. That's more than 31,700 square miles of cold, clear water. To put it into perspective, you could flood all of North and South America with a foot of water using just Lake Superior. It's the largest freshwater lake on Earth by surface area and plays a critical role in the region's weather, ecosystems, and commerce. Fact 13. The Florida Keys are made of ancient coral. Beneath the sunny beaches and piña coladas, the Florida Keys hold a secret. They're built from fossilized coral reefs. Over 125,000 years ago, sea levels were higher, and coral reefs flourished across what is now southern Florida. When the ocean receded, those reefs became the limestone bedrock of the upper Keys. Meanwhile, the lower Keys were formed from sandbars. The Keys also boast North America's only coral reef, making them both geologically rare and environmentally precious. Fact 12. The US had a city bigger than London. In 1100 AD, before New York, before Boston, there was Cahokia. Located near present-day St. Louis, Illinois, it was a massive Native American city, thriving around the year 1100 AD. Archaeologists estimate the population at 20,000 people, bigger than London at the time. The city featured plazas, temples, and towering mounds, the largest of which, Monk's Mound, still stands over 100 feet tall. Cahokia was the largest pre-Columbian settlement north of Mexico, and its sudden disappearance remains a mystery. Fact 11. California's Salton Sea was an accident, and it's dying. Imagine building a canal and accidentally creating a huge sea. That's exactly what happened in 1905, when an irrigation channel in California's Imperial Valley burst, causing the Colorado River to flood into the Salton Sink. The result? The Salton Sea, a massive inland lake created by mistake. For a while, it was a glamorous resort spot, but the sea had no outlet, so over time, salt and chemicals built up. Now it's 50% saltier than the ocean, killing off fish and covering the shores in a rotting stench. Once booming with hotels and beaches, the area is now eerily abandoned. Fact 10. The only tropical rainforest in the US is in Puerto Rico. You don't have to go to the Amazon to find a tropical rainforest. It's in US territory. El Yunque National Forest in Puerto Rico is the only tropical rainforest under the US flag. It spans 29,000 acres, home to over 200 tree species, rare frogs, and cloud-shrouded peaks. Even though it's small, it's one of the most biologically diverse places in the country. Fact 9. One mountain sends water to 3 oceans. In Glacier National Park, Montana, there's a mountain with a unique job. Triple Divide Peak sends water into 3 different oceans: the Pacific, the Atlantic, and the Arctic. It's the only known point in North America where rainfall splits 3 ways. From there, it travels through 3 major watersheds: Columbia River, Mississippi River, and Saskatchewan River systems. Fact 8. Niagara Falls isn't the tallest waterfall in the US. Niagara might be the most famous, but it's not even close to the tallest. That title belongs to Yosemite Falls in California, dropping a jaw-dropping 2,425 feet. Niagara? Only 167 feet. What makes it famous isn't the height, it's the sheer volume of water. Fact 7. St. Augustine is the oldest continuously inhabited U.S. town. Forget Boston and Philadelphia. The oldest town in America is in Florida. St. Augustine was founded by Spanish explorers in 1565, long before the Pilgrims ever saw Plymouth Rock. It's been continuously inhabited ever since, making it the oldest permanent European settlement in the continental U.S. Fact 6. Oklahoma's Panhandle exists because of slavery. Why does Oklahoma have that weird horizontal strip on top? The answer: slavery laws. In the 1800s, Texas wanted to join the U.S. as a slave state, but the Missouri Compromise banned slavery north of 36 degrees 30 minutes. So, Texas chopped off that northern sliver of land. It sat unused, unclaimed, earning the nickname No Man's Land. Eventually, it became part of Oklahoma, and today it's known as the Oklahoma Panhandle. Fact 5. One county borders 4 states. In the Panhandle of Oklahoma sits a geographic oddball, Cimarron County. It's the only county in the U.S. that borders 4 other states: Colorado, New Mexico, Texas, and Kansas. The population? Just about 2,200 people. But if you live there, you could drive through 4 states in under an hour. It's a border lover's dream. Fact 4. Allen, South Dakota, is the most landlocked place in the Western Hemisphere. Want to be as far from the ocean as humanly possible? Head to Allen, South Dakota. It's the most landlocked point in the entire Western Hemisphere, over 1,025 miles from the nearest ocean. No sea breeze, no salty air, just endless plains. Allen is part of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, surrounded by grasslands and isolation. Fact 3. Texas is bigger than any European country except Russia. The saying, "everything's bigger in Texas," isn't just a flex, it's a fact. Texas covers over 268,000 square miles, making it larger than any fully European country. That includes France, Germany, Spain, and even Ukraine. Only Russia is larger, but most of its land is technically in Asia. Driving across Texas from east to west? That'll take you over 12 hours. In that time, you could cross multiple European nations. Fact 2. Maryland has 0 natural lakes. You'd think the driest states would have the fewest lakes. But nope, Maryland is the only U.S. state without a single natural lake. Every lake in Maryland, like Deep Creek Lake or Lake Habib, is man-made, built by dams or artificial basins. Even Arizona and Nevada, with all their desert, have natural lakes. Maryland? Not one. It's a state surrounded by rivers and bays, but no naturally occurring lakes. Geography irony at its finest. Fact 1. Vermont was its own independent country for 14 years before it was the peaceful, maple syrup-producing state we know today. Vermont was a country. In 1777, Vermont declared independence, not just from Britain, but also from New York. Why? Because both sides were ignoring it. For 14 years, Vermont had its own constitution, its own currency, and even abolished slavery long before other states. It wasn't until 1791 that Vermont finally joined the United States. That wraps up our 25 most insane U.S. geography facts, from islands inside islands to vanishing coastlines and ghost towns. But did you know some geography facts you've heard your whole life are completely fake? Click the video on your screen now to watch 50 world geography facts that are fake. You won't believe number 1. And don't forget to subscribe to Landlocked, because this world only gets weirder the closer you look.